Hey, welcome back to Delectable You, recipes for food and for life. I have been obsessing over veggie burgers lately, and I've been testing them out the wazoo. And this recipe for a curry, for light curry, chickpea veggie burger has become one of my favorites, and I thought I'm gonna share it with you. It's really delicious, it's really easy, it'll feed the whole family, everybody will be happy. So let me show you what to do. Okay, so grab yourself a large food processor, and to the food processor you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of gluten-free rolled oats, and then you're going to get 1/2 cup of pumpkin seeds. Now if you don't want the oats, you can just replace it with seeds. Any seeds will do. Let's grind this up a little. Okay. I just don't want like full pumpkin seeds in anybody's bite, so that's why we pre-grind it a little bit. Okay, so next we're gonna add about a handful of roughly chopped cilantro or parsley. You can skip this if you don't like this, and let's move this away. And then in this bowl, I've got a 1/2 a red pepper that I've chopped up small dice, a 1/2 a red onion chopped up small dice, and 3 to 4 roughly chopped garlic cloves. I sauteed them in 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil for about 10 minutes. And the reason that we do this is because if you add straight onions and straight red peppers without cooking them to your burger mix, you're gonna get a really oniony, strong flavor, and I wanted it to be more subtle. So it's a kind of a pain to do that extra step, but it's worth it in the end, okay? So that goes in there. All right, next up we're gonna add 1/2 a teaspoon of curry powder. Half a teaspoon of cumin. 1/2 a teaspoon of garam masala, not marsala. 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. I'm using Celtic sea salt or Celtic sea salt. I don't know how to say that. One of you wants to correct me, please do. 1/2 a teaspoon of ground black pepper. 1/2 a teaspoon of garlic powder. 2 cans that have been rinsed and drained of chickpeas. So I think these are 14 or 15 ounce cans. So we're gonna add this in. Clearly I did not drain these very well. All right, now we just want to process these all together until it's nice and smooth. Okay, if you find that it's not coming together the way that you want it to, what I like to do is just add about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil at a time. So let's do that with it running. All right, that's great. So I added about 1.5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil just to get the show on the road and to make it a little wetter. All right, so you can grab yourself a bowl because we have one more step before we put these puppies in the oven. And just pour this into the bowl. Now I do have some bits left over. It's not completely smooth, but that's actually okay because I kind of like the way that will affect when you bite into the burger. It'll feel more meaty. So the big problem with a lot of veggie burgers is that they end up being really wet, and that's what I've been experimenting lately with. I don't want them to be wet, so I'm going to show you how to make it a little more dry. Not dry in a bad way, dry in a good way. So the only thing left to do is to add some rice, and this is how we're going to make it a little less dry. So we're gonna add 1.5 cups of cooked brown rice. So if you don't like rice and you wanna use quinoa, you can do that. I prefer the brown rice if you can stand it. If you can stand it, it's so good. Okay, now just toss this all together. And what the rice is gonna do is it's going to kind of dry it out a little bit, not in a bad way, but just in a way that you're not biting into something that feels like it's not cooked. Okay, get yourself a pan like this and line it with parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. Then I highly recommend using a half cup scoop, and you're going to literally scoop out half a cup, and this is such a great shape already. And just kind of like tap it, there we go, and then use your hands to keep it in that circle shape and just thin it out to about like 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and do this with all of your veggie burger dough. Okay, so as you can see, we got 9 burgers out of this recipe. That is a win if you ask me. So we're gonna bake these at 375. We're going to put them in for 15 minutes, then we're gonna rotate the pan 180 degrees and bake for another 10 to 15 minutes or until they're cooked through. I smell veggie burgers. Oh yes. Oh, those look so good and they smell so good. Get the other ones. All right, there you have it. These are your curry spiced chickpea vegetable burgers. Serve these up the way you would any burger, whether you wrap it in lettuce or you put it on a bun, put a little ketchup, a little mustard, pickles, onions, tomatoes, whatever you want. That's it. They're super easy. Your family's gonna love them, and that's about it. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a lovely day, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.